Hi Hodies, welcome to my channel. My name is hautemesstom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Excuse my raspy voice. I went to see Muna last night and I scream sang along, and my voice, and I'm going out tonight and I'm also going out tomorrow. So I think by Saturday I might not have a voice. I'm feeling a little tired because I'm not saying that I'm old, but I'm a person that doesn't go out often. So this is like a big week for me, but I had the most fun, and I'm sure I'm gonna have the most fun both tonight and also tomorrow. So I am just trying to live in that space and have like a good time. Anyway, today's video, we are gonna get ready for my Shawn Mendes meet and greet. You may be saying to yourself,
Shawn Mendes canceled his tour.
Which I called, by the way. And if you didn't see it already, I posted a Let's Play with Makeup where I kind of talked about the whole thing. But here's the thing. I bought an outfit, head to toe, and I don't want to waste it. So what I would like to do today is get ready for this imaginary meet and greet in my mind. But if you are new to my channel, if you are a Shawn Mendes fan, and you have somehow clicked on this video going, what? But you're like, I'll stick around. I'll see what this person does. My channel is often very focused on loving my makeup collection as it is. And weirdly enough, I did not buy any new makeup for the Shawn Mendes concert. I only bought new clothes. So that's fun. But so all of this stuff was stuff that was already in my collection that we'll be using today. And I'm going to try to make the same decisions that I think I would have the day of the concert to put this look together. But I do think the conversations I'll be having as I get ready will be how I came to love one Shawn Mendes. So if this kind of content sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video, and I'm also on Patreon if you'd like to support me there. Before we jump into the rest of the things, just a friendly reminder that I'm nominated in 3 categories for the Best of Pittsburgh by City Paper. I'm nominated for Best YouTube Account, Best Thirst Trap, and finally I'm also nominated for Best Lifestyle Influencer. There's a link at the top of my description box. If you click on that and vote for me, I'd really appreciate it. But if you've already voted for me, thank you. You can only vote 1 time in this round, so if you've already done it, you've done what you could. So thank you. Let's get into it. Okay, eyeshadow primer. It'd be the Heir Atelier eyeshadow primer. If it's my favorite. It does its job. We might pull in the next glitter primer in a bit, but we're gonna start with this. Oh my god, my throat is like really, I really did something last night. I really lived my full fantasy. Let's talk about Shawn Mendes. I was on Vine. I was a user of Vine. I did it for the Vine. I actually never did it for the Vine. I mean, I tried making Vines, but like not in any kind of like real capacity. Like, I wasn't, like, actually trying to do Vine because I'm not funny. 6 seconds isn't really long. Also, I really like long-form content. I didn't know that at the time, but I'm really into long-form content. I'm sure this video is really long. I haven't even recorded it or edited it, but I can tell you that I'm gonna bet between 30 and 45 minutes, but if I get carried away, maybe longer. In the effort of having longevity for my oily lids, I will be setting the primer with some setting powder from Pat McGrath. So I was a Vine user. I loved watching Vines. So I recall Shawn Mendes being on there, but, you know, Vine was a thing of its time. So while we're really used to the very finessed algorithm of TikTok, if you're a TikTok user, TikTok wasn't like that. TikTok would just like show you what's popular, or you would just like go through your feed of the people that you follow. So like you could go to like best 100 comedy TikToks, or like best 100 most popular TikToks worldwide. It was like, that was the way. That wasn't even, I'm saying TikTok, I mean Vine. Like, that was how the categories were spread out. So I do recall seeing Shawn because he was also, at the time, friends with a couple of the very popular, like, young, cute boys that were on Vine. And I'm saying this all just to say that I saw Shawn Mendes on Vine. This was not, I like just was aware of him, right? I didn't follow him because I think that he was cute or anything like that. I just feel like I need to be very explicit at this point with the verbiage and the things that are being said about queer people. It wasn't like at this time I was like, I love Shawn Mendes, okay? I need you to know that. Cut to a couple years later. Well, a couple years later, I guess. So I believe that Stitches came out in 2016, if I'm correct. So I'm fairly certain that was like one of his first major singles was Stitches. thinking about the meet and greet and the outfit I have, I actually chose, I think you'll actually be surprised, I chose Mothership 1 from Pat McGrath because it has the blacks and grays in here, and the garment I'm wearing is black. But the shoes I'm wearing are this like very light mint, and I thought doing like what I normally would want to do on my eye, which would be like a green smoky eye, I'm gonna do like a blue leaning smoky eye, but I'm not gonna do anything like really super extravagant with my eyes because I don't think I would like the way that image would carry, right? Like if I had like a really intense face where I was like doing something very artistic, I just don't think I would like the way that looks. But when I meet drag queens and drag performers and things like that, I will wear like really wild makeup. I don't think for Shawn that is what I would do. So I'm just keeping it realistic. So I'm gonna use all 3 of the mattes in here. But you know what I might actually do? I might start with the black on the outer corner, and then I will work my way in with some of the lighter shades. That sounds like what I actually want to do. I have been constructing my looks this way in playtime and like practice time. Not all the time, but I did a video where I like tried to mimic Hannah Louise Poston, and in that video, the way she applies her eyeshadow, that has been like actually working out for me, like construction wise. So I used to go from like lightest to darkest, but I'm gonna be like reversing. I'm gonna roll reverse that. So I'll be going in with the black first, and I'm just gonna be packing it on the outer. Stitches comes out, and the song was really popular, but I don't really like listen to the radio, but that song, I swear to God, anytime I was anywhere doing anything or in someone's car or whatever, the song would just be playing, and I was like, this man is like haunting me. This person is haunting me. And the thing about it was, I liked it. Like, I really liked the song. I liked the lyrical content, but it was so catchy, and the needle in the thread, gotta get you out of my head. Why not dead? That part really gets me. It popped my corn, okay? Love it. I downloaded the song. Like, and I was still using like iTunes at this point. I know that a lot of people were using Spotify at this time, but I really like, I don't know, I was still buying music at the time. It was just like my favorite way to consume music. And I still buy vinyl, but I would buy singles and stuff. And I was just like, I really like this song. I really like this song. And then I like didn't even really know who it was by. I like heard it was by Shawn Mendes. And then whenever I like kind of Googled him, I was like, oh my God, I remember this person from Vine. And why is this song slap? Like, there was a lot of weird culture around the boys of Shawn's age when he was on Vine. Like, kind of like the general feeling that like, they weren't really talented. They were just like, young girls thought they were really cute, and that was why they like got any of the opportunities they did. So I was just like kind of blown away that like, one of them had like actually crept on to radio. Literally every time my friends would hang out, or I would like be Ubering home from a bar or like whatever, like Shawn Mendes would just be like on the radio. Stitches would be on the radio. I like didn't want to I didn't want to tell anyone that I was like liking Shawn Mendes because it felt like so juvenile. And I was just like, no one's allowed to know about this. So, at the time, my friend and I did like an iTunes like family plan, meaning not Apple Music, but an iTunes family plan. And it was kind of so that we could both have access to all of the music that we paid for between the two of us. So if we bought music on iTunes, we would both have access to it. I'm pretty certain at this time that the friend I'm thinking of actually had Spotify, but I think she too, we were some of those people like just really holding on to a little bit to like buying singles on iTunes, being those people. So being annoying and obtuse, like just get into it, we should have just bit the bullet, but we eventually did. I'm a Spotify user now. I did use Apple Music for a while. That's not really what this conversation is, but I just want to let you know that like, I'm with it. I'm like hip. I'm hip. When I decided that I liked Shawn enough, I was like, well, I want to buy the album. I want to listen to the album. And this would have been the second album, which I think has Mercy on it. Now, while I am a Shawn Mendes fan, I would not say that I am a Shawn Mendes stan. So some of the music misses me. I don't like all of it. And I'm just, I'm being honest and stating that. But I was, the appeal to me was the music. I really like the music. It really resonated with me. And here's why. Shawn is very emotionally vulnerable in his writing, which I often find, and like, I'm not trying to blanket statement, so like, I often find that men, cis men, lack the ability of like vulnerability. But I also mean in a sense where like, he'll talk about like mental, like not being mentally well, and that's like playing into the song. And I just feel like a lot of the culture at large is like, men aren't allowed to do that. So I just like really appreciated that he did that. So I think Illuminate was the second album. It's the one where he's like sitting on a chair. That was me recreating sitting on a chair. I don't know why I had to be back here to do that, and I don't know if he really is doing anything with his hands. I'm fairly certain he's actually playing the guitar. So that's how I play guitar. It's not a Rorschach test, it's just me sitting, okay? I can really tell that my voice is like so strained right now. It's like so funny to me. I wanted the album. Wow, I've been really trying to talk about how I've been trying to buy, like, was buying the album. So what I did, because if I bought it on iTunes, my friend would know. And I did something similar with Ariana Grande, okay? So I will explain what happened. I was like, well, I have to buy the CD, but I wanted it on my phone. And this was still at a time where, I don't know, computers had disk drives. So I don't know why I went full super sleuth, because I didn't have to. I could have used my debit card and my friend would never have known. But I went to an ATM. I took out cash. I went to the exchange. The street I worked on at the time had an exchange on it. If you don't know what the exchange is, it's basically a chain, and I don't know if it's just regional or if it's all through the United States, but for those of you who are in other countries that may not have this, it's just like a buy, selling, trading of media. So like, they sell records and CDs and video games. You can trade things in and they will give you cash, and then, or you can just buy things at a lower cost, because like a lot of them are used, but they also carry some new stuff. So the Shawn Mendes CD was new. It was like newly released. I like went day of and bought Shawn Mendes' new album. I'm really exposing myself here. I'm really feeling vulnerable. Are you feeling the vulnerability? Buy the album, get home, put it on to my phone, and I just start listening to it, and I'm living. I do want to make it clear that if you are also a purveyor of Shawn Mendes music, I really get more into the poppy music. I really don't love the singer-songwriter-y songs. But, so I'm guilty of being, like, one of the people who's like, oh, I just really like the ones that are on the radio better, because oftentimes the ones that I really like are on the ones that they play on the radio of Shawn's music. Very talented, very emotional, really enjoy it. I am hanging out with my friend the one day. We're getting a little turned up. And I say something about, oh, I really like this song, because he had like released one of the songs and I like knew all the words. And my friend was like, how do you know the song? And I was like, oh, I bought the album. And she was like, I didn't see it in iTunes. And I was just like, well, I bought it in cash like a crazy person. She's like, why'd you buy it in cash? You could have just bought the CD. And I was like, well, I just really needed you to not know. There was going to be no physical evidence that I bought this CD. There's going to be no digital tracking of me buying this CD. Here's like a core memory unlocked. I remember this so distinctly. Shawn Mendes was touring Illuminate, and I thought about it. I was like, I should go to that. I'll have fun at that. I should go to the Shawn Mendes tour. And I was like, no. We don't need to do that. We don't need to be of the people. We just really, really don't. We don't need to do that. We don't like need to go to the Shawn Mendes concert. Here was how that kicked me in the butt. Here's how I got that wrong. I take a bus that travels past the well, I don't even know what it's called anymore. I think I don't think it's called this anymore, but it was the PPG Paints Arena. I'm sure it's something different now. I actually really don't know. It might still be called PPG Paints Arena, but the bus I took home from work went past it, and I apparently found myself working the day that the Shawn Mendes concert was. So when I was coming home from work that day, there were all these people at PPG Paints, and I was like, what's going on today? I Google it, Shawn Mendes, and I was like, I could have just done that. That could have been my full destiny. It would have been to going to the Shawn Mendes concert. The next year rolls around. This was 2018. Wow, I'm just telling you the whole story. So not all of this will have to do with Shawn Mendes, but it's all sort of related. I mean, most of it is. I'm not like switching gears here and just trying to talk about something completely different. 2018 rolls around, and this is unrelated to Shawn Mendes, but more important for the larger part of the story. I went to see the drag performer, Ben de la Creme. And if you don't know who the drag performer Ben de la Creme is, she's really talented. In 2018, the show RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 3 had been airing. And if you didn't know this, at the time, I had a RuPaul's Drag Race podcast called It Bears Repeating. It still exists, but we don't do it anymore. And like, if that's content you wish to seek, it is there. I love Ben de la Creme. She was on the season, and she was touring, and she came here. Like, it wasn't a one-woman show. We had this drag performer. I don't know if she even still does anything like this since the pandemic. I haven't been keeping up. The local performer who would book a lot of the Drag Race girls, and they did this thing called Vein. And what Vein was, it'd be like 5 performers total, and it would be like the first 4 performers would be local girls, and then the last performer would be the Rue girl. And so they would do 2 numbers, so you would go through all the girls twice. Really fun, great concept. I kind of miss them because what was great about Vein is that they were Sunday night shows, which sounds bad because drag often happens late at night, but they would start at 7 and be done by 9, or they might have started at 5. Like, it was like you were in at 1 hour and out by, like, the sun sometimes would still be up when you were done with Vein, which is like so uncommon with a drag show, but it's great. It's like really, really great. We had meet and greet tickets for Ben de la Creme, and so we did that, and here's what happened. I ended up hating the way that my meet and greet picture turned out because I thought I looked fat. And I'm not going to harp on this too long. I hate that picture. I mean, I don't hate it as much to this day, but at the time it was causing me a lot of grief in my interpersonal feelings about myself. And not long after that, or maybe right before it, I can't really recall, Shawn Mendes announced his next tour. And it was for the album, the self-titled album. The album that has In My Blood on it. And, ooh, if I had to name my favorite Shawn Mendes song, gun to my head, it's absolutely In My Blood. That song is incredible. I think it's just an incredible song. Not just, like, the best Shawn Mendes song. I think it's, like, top tier song. Like, one for the record books. My friend, as a Christmas birthday present, meaning it was, like, for the birthday that year, Christmas that year, and then also my birthday the next year, bought meet and greet tickets for Shawn. Well, I can't look like I did in this. Anyway, that all leads to me buying a Peloton, which is a completely different story. But I went on this journey called #skinny for Schmendes, which was just so I would look good in the meet and greet picture. The year goes around, and I really don't remember when the album came out. I swear to God, we bought the tickets for the tour, like, a year and a half before we actually got to go to it. Like, it was a long time. All right, I think that's where I would stop with the eye. I'll do a little bit of, like, undershadow. Maybe I'll add a little more sparkle. Maybe a little more. And this will be the look I'm wearing tonight. So I did keep that in mind, but I am trying to keep mostly what I would want to wear to Shawn Mendes first. If I was going to Shawn Mendes, my nails wouldn't be painted this, but look at them. Ooh, so pretty. I'll put the nail details in. I don't actually know the names of these shades, but they'll be linked down below. Like, I will put them down there for you so you can click through if you're interested to see what they look like. Because there is a top coat on here, like a sparkly top coat as well. So it's not like just one color. It's like a little more detailed than that. And I don't know the names of any of the shades. I'm just gonna line my eyes with Black Coffee from Pat McGrath. I just have a lot of fallout, so that's why I'm taping my face. I just started doing it and then realized perhaps you won't know what I'm trying to do. I mean, it kind of is all for nothing, because normally I have glitter on my hands, and then what happens is that I just get glitter all over my face anyway. But to prime my face, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. And the reason I'm choosing this is that this has a nice grip to it. I'm not, like, into hydro grip level of grip, but this feels really nice on the skin and provides grip and smells nice, and it's just a really nice primer overall. It's really, really nice. We'll get to it, but I'm trying to remember what I wore makeup wise, the meet and greet. Like, I know what the color story I went with, but like I don't remember what foundation I put on. I'm doing Skinny for Shawn Mendes, getting ready, enjoying the self-titled album. The whole self-titled album it slaps. It's my favorite album that Shawn has put out. I think it's the only one that I can listen to start to finish. Like, that's the vibe. Chanel color corrector to even out redness. It was July 2019. I remember it so fondly. And actually in 2019, there was like quite a bit of stuff going on with me in that summer. So I went to Key West for a wedding. I don't really remember the order of everything. And I also remember going to quite a few concerts, not only in the summer, in the fall as well. I saw Ariana Grande. I'm fairly certain I saw Radiohead, but that was more as a tag along. My friend really likes Radiohead. A quick aside, I did choose to wear a mask at the concert I went to last night. And I don't normally, I didn't really break out when I was wearing masks a lot from just like working in the general public. I didn't really. But I think because I got so sweaty at the show last night and it was just like kind of sticking to my face, I do feel like my face is a little worse for wear. And I think that's just going to continue until the weekend. So yay for my skin. I'll be using the Surratt Dewdrop foundation as my foundation because it's just really pretty and it's really nice. I'm really trying to remember, the picture from the meet and greet, which we are about to talk about, I have it hanging up in my room. I wonder what foundation I'm wearing. My guess is either Beauty Blender or whatever. Anyway, let's talk about the meet and greet. Okay, so, July rolls around. So many fantastic things happening around this time of year, of that specific year. What else did we do? I just remember it being like really busy. I also am choosing to do a little more foundation than I have been doing recently on my skin. But the reason I'm doing that is because for a picture like this, I would rather have a little more coverage. I'm still not a full coverage queen. That's not really my gig. That's not what I would do, but definitely a little more coverage than I am known to do on my channel. So the day rolls around, and when you do a meet and greet for someone of this size, and even if you are like close to the stage for someone this size, because this kind of happened with Beyonce, you had to like get to the concert venue like really early. Like, I'm fairly certain we had to be there like at like, I don't know, 1 or 2. We go to the venue, we get all checked in. I wore this really cute romper. I just wanted to pop it. Hi, my voice is shot because I went to see Charlie XCX last night. I told you it was a busy week. But the day I'm posting this is actually the 3-year anniversary of when I met Shawn Mendes, and I certainly didn't plan that. Okay, back to the video. I remember getting ready for it and just being so nervous. I wore a really cute romper, and it had these really flowy sheer sleeves. I got my I had acrylics on at the time, and I got them done. The nail artist I was seeing at the time was very talented, and basically I showed her the album artwork, and she built these roses because it's like a floral theme. I'll pop a picture up of what that album looks like. And so she made these like acrylic flowers and like there was like some neon. It was like very cool, very chic. I guess I could post a picture of the nails if I can find them. And I even remember my nail person trying to switch my appointment time, and I was like, you can't move the day because it's for a thing. And she was like, understood, and like worked me in to make it more convenient for her, but also still serving what I needed help with my nails for. So this is the Armani concealer, just a concealer that I really like. There's not really a rhyme or reason as to why I choose this one. It's just the concealer that I like the most. The motif is like yellow, orange, and there's also a hint of green in my garment. So I actually use the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, which I still have all the shadows too, but I took them out of the packaging, and I just use them as singles now. I might not have even all of the shades. That was the palette that I used. I don't think I had depotted it yet whenever I went to the Shawn Mendes concert. I do recall that was the palette that I used because it was not my fanciest palette. Well, I had some Pat McGrath palettes, I think, at that time as well. Maybe I did. Again, I'm taking some Pat McGrath powder, and I'm actually baking, which I'm gonna explain why. I'm very, very sweaty, and I build up a lot of oil. And while in the day-to-day, I'm perfectly fine with the oil breaking through and liking that look, but I want my makeup to stay as perfect as it can in these scenarios. Like, so if I'm getting sweaty or whatever, so I do bake, and only in these scenarios. I actually don't really recommend baking if you are just like going to work. I know that was a thing that we did for a little bit of time, but I only bake whenever I am going to an event at which I will be sweaty, and I know that my makeup's longevity will be compromised by that. So this would actually be more so for the actual concert portion that I would be baking, and less for the actual meet and greet. You know, sometimes you get sweaty when you're about to meet someone that you highly hold in high regard. Like, this is so much powder for me. For those of you who regularly watch me, you obviously know that, but, and I know I talk a lot about, like, if you're new here, but I think it's important to acknowledge that there will also be people here that don't know me sometimes, and so I just like to say that. I just don't like to assume. I don't want to make anyone feel like they're out of the loop. And I actually probably, this makes the most sense, because I think that was the summer that the Pat McGrath foundation was released. My guess is that I'm actually wearing the Pat McGrath foundation and the concealer, because I think they were all launched at the same time. Maybe only the foundation was released at the time. Wonder what concealer I'm wearing. So curious, so curious. I have gotten more calls today from random numbers than I have in a very long time. Like, I regularly throughout the week, I get calls from random numbers, but like so many today. So I'm gonna leave this set while I talk you through some, because it won't take me a lot to do the rest of my base. I also am going out tonight too, so this is, while I would have done this for Shawn, it's also for the events I'm going to today. And I also have chosen to use powder products on top of this in order to just powder products last longer. Like, let's say I was going to a drag show, I would actually have done cream bronzer contour and then also done powder contour. Like, I would have done like a lot more than this, but I'm just baking right now, just regular baking. I'm sure I was wearing a Pat McGrath gloss too. If I had to get, oh, I don't have that shade anymore. I used it all up. I know exactly what shade I'm wearing. Okay, anyway, back to story. We get the whole get up. You get some free stuff whenever as you should, because the tickets are not cheap. They are like, okay, so here's what it's gonna do. Because part of the promise was that you would go through the Shawn Mendes Museum, which is like, while I appreciate the concept of this, Shawn Mendes doesn't have such an illustrious and long career that I'm very concerned about belongings that we might see that he had put on in certain videos. So we're waiting in line for that. And I'm stupid because they tell us the meet and greet is going to be the last thing. There was going to be a question, like a Q&A section, and they had presented it to us as like that was going to happen first, and then we would do the meet and greet. And then I don't really remember where they told us the museum would fit in, but they were like, change of plans, we're going to do the museum first. And they actually take your bag from you at the time. And I know that like a lot of venues you can't really take much in, but like we were allowed to have like reasonably sized bags. So like I had a purse, so I like put my purse on the thing. Security like took it away from me, and I was allowed to keep, they would like told me to hold on to my phone. So we were like waiting in line, and there's a young, perhaps like young teen, maybe tween aged girl and her older sister in front of us. So we were like chatting with them, and the little girl was hyperventilating. She was so nervous. I was also nervous, right? Because like, what are you supposed to say? Like, what meaningful thing can you say in these interactions? Because they don't last very long, right? When you go into these scenarios, it's not like you get like a lengthy amount of time. It's like maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Like, it's like really, we could talk about the consumerism and capitalism and the cost benefit of doing a meet and greet with a celebrity at this rate, at this cost. That's not a video for today. That sounds like a video that Khadijah would make. We get let into the museum in small groups because it's not very big. So I was just like, we were waiting our turn, talking to the girl in front of us. She's like, I'm gonna throw up. The girl behind me is like also talking about, she was like, I'm gonna see if he'll sign something. But they've told us repeatedly up to this point that like he will not be signing anything. Now we've got a few things that were signed because of this. Like, I can't recall if the CD we got was signed, but we got a signed poster. Anyway, I don't know what she wanted him to write for her, but she had a plan. She's like, I'm still gonna ask. And I was like, because she wanted to get something tattooed. She like wanted to get it tattooed. if I recall. I'm just taking off that layer of powder and I'm gonna start doing my face. I'm gonna contour with Kevin Aquan. So we get into the museum, and at the end of this like very short hallway, as I said, while Shawn Mendes has a very successful career, not really much to look at as far as like things that have been in his music videos that would be things that you would remember. Like they had outfits like displayed. I guess it was kind of like a mini like rock and roll Hall of Fame, but just like Shawn Mendes. Like I don't really know what we were supposed to like think about that or like actually like get out of that, but it was called like the Shawn Access Experience. Like that's what they actually called like this mini museum. So they let our little group in. So it's like the kid and the sister in front of me, and then like the girl who wants to tattoo and a friend behind me, and like me and my friend in the middle. So that like 6 of us in. So we're like looking at the stuff, and then we get to the end and there's like a big red curtain. There's like a big red curtain and there's a security guard at the end. They lied to us. We're doing the meet and greet now. So we get to the red curtain, and like my mind is rushing. I'm like, what am I gonna say? 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 Racing through my mind. And the poor young girl in front of me, she was like, ah! And I was like, she was kind of like the one to go first. It was her or her sister. Her sister was like encouraging her to go first. And so the little girl goes, I can't really hear, like this curtain really was blocking sound, but like we could hear Shawn. Like you know how like you can hear like a voice carry, but you really can't, their voice is muffled, but you can like make out whose voice it is. So we can tell it's him. And there's this like really, really buff security guard. It's like telling us like how to be ready to like approach this. Then me and my friend were trying to figure out like which one of us is going first. we were just like, we're so nervous. Both of us. I'll be using the Tom Ford bronzer in Ode to Terra for bronzing. And so my friend was like, you need to go first. You need to go first. And so we don't have much time. They didn't give us much time to think. And I think they actually did that on purpose. Like I actually fully think that like, I think they think if you have too much time and you know when it's going to happen. I don't really know, like not like a negative thing, but like I think that is on purpose where they're like, oh, you thought one thing, it's the other. And I think it's just so that like things move faster, and that like because we didn't know that once we got in there that we were going to meet Shawn on the other side of this curtain, I think it was so that like no one was like, there was no push to move because people didn't know when it was supposed to happen. And then once you're actually like inside that like museum, they can control 6 people. Like if all 6 of us got together and like rushed the curtain to get to Shawn, like they'd be able to handle the 6 of us. But also just like imagining the group of imagining this group of people in specific trying to cause, I don't know, some kind of Shawn Mendes coup. Like, it's just really funny to me. But I get it. Like, if all of us knew at once that, like, we would run, try to, like, be at the front of the line, I get it. I mean, I wouldn't, because it's, like, the thing is, we all paid for something, and we're gonna get whatever that is the way that they decide that looks like. So, I get it. I'm imagining that choice to keep us in the dark about when the meet and greet was really happening was a safety concern thing. We're waiting, we're at the curtain, and then I noticed that the guy's taking our phones. I was like, how are we gonna get the picture? And they were taking the phones, and like you could tell that they were passing them along. Like they weren't going into the curtain, they were going like around the curtain. Your phone was going around the curtain. I was like, all right, so if they're not taking the photo. Also, I need you to know that like I made it very, very concerted effort to not have like any weird photos be able to pop up, like if they needed to open my camera. My friend decides, wow, I'm getting really excited talking about this. It was like a really good day. What a fun day. My friend decides that I need to go first, and here's the thing about me. In a crisis situation, I am so bad about it, but the second that I need to be turned on, ooh, honey, I am turned on. And I am like, Tom, the performer, comes out, and I'm like, Shawn Mendes is gonna think I'm the biggest baddie, the baddest bitch alive. He's not gonna know what came around this curtain. So I give my phone to the security guy, and like, we had a good laugh. I think he was really charmed by me because he was like, this person really did it. Like, this person head to toe. Because like, some of the riffraff, they were just wearing like jean shorts and a cute top, but I was like, it's an ensemble. With me, it's always an ensemble. Okay, Desert Orchid is what I'll be wearing from Pat McGrath because it's like a neutral blush and you don't have to think too hard about it. It's really lovely. I round the corner. I lock eyes with Shawn Mendes, who is incredibly tall. And like, I knew that. It's like one of those things that you know, but like, you know how like, you just never know what size someone's going to be when you see them. Like, I thought he was both much taller than I was ready for him to be and much skinnier than I thought he was going to be. And obviously I knew that Shawn Mendes is like a very fit person. Like, I'm aware of that. He, like, is skinny. It's just, like, he's really skinny, too. Like, he's very, very fit, but also, like, very, very skinny. To circle back to skinny for Shawn Mendes, it was a success. I did, like, lose 60 pounds in order for this meet and greet. Okay, like, but it was, like, larger context. Anyway, don't do diets. I don't think diet culture is real, but I made a distinct choice, and it was for me, okay? And I don't want to promote losing 60 pounds to my audience, but it's kind of relevant to the story, more so than just like, I lost 60 pounds for this, and you'll see why in a second. I round the corner, me walking like I think I look like Naomi Campbell. I walk through, and he says, Shawn Mendes looks me in the eye and says to me, "You look incredible." And I did. Jesus Christ, I did. With gusto and confidence, I go up and hug Shawn Mendes. I was like, as if it was just like, it was like, that was my meet and greet experience, was like, I'm gonna hug Shawn Mendes. And so I walked up to Shawn Mendes and hugged him. And so he was like, "You look incredible." And so we like had a little kiki, whatever. And like, okay, this is where, okay. He says to me, "Are you ready for the picture?" Like, we're making eye contact. He's like, "Are you ready for this?" And I was like, "Absolutely." I was like, but I actually say, "I better be. I lost 60 pounds for this." Like some kind of asshole. And so we're literally posed for the picture. I'm like this. I'm like, I lost 60 pounds for this. I'm like, he looks at me, and I was like, oh my God, it was over the course of like 18 months. It wasn't like all at once. Like, I didn't crash diet. And he like, I could tell that was his concern, was that like, I knew I was going to be doing this, and I like crash dieted, but that was like actually, like, it wasn't the case. I wasn't like crash dieting. He was like, "How did you lose the weight?" And I was like, "Oh, I bought a Peloton." And he was like, "Oh my God." And so we'd actually talked about it. He's like, "I tried SoulCycle. I'm really, really bad at cycling." And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Well, you should try Peloton sometime. You could do it in your home. You don't have to be embarrassed with a class of other people." And then I realized that Shawn Mendes was going to do a SoulCycle class. I wouldn't be able to be in the Shawn Mendes SoulCycle class. Like, I'm fairly certain that would be an experience that I wouldn't get to do organically. We say our goodbye. He says, "Enjoy the show." My friend goes in after me. I'm gonna highlight with the Milk highlighter, Flex highlighter, in the shade Lit. I don't think they make this anymore, which is so stupid. My friend comes in behind me. She's second. I hear her she rounds the corner. I don't know what he says to her, but she just says, "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." And I'm like waiting for her on the other side. I can't, like, they don't let you see anyone's, so like I'm on the other side, but like I don't really know what's happening. I can hear her because like the curtain wasn't as thick on the other side, and I was close to it. And the once we made it through that, someone handed us a signed poster, and I was like talking to that guy while I was like waiting for my friend, and he was like, I don't think I was really allowed to be like lingering there, but he was like, "Is your friend behind you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He let me wait for her. Okay, we're on to something here. I'm gonna spray my face with Fix Plus. She rounds the corner. She looks me in the eye. She just had her meet and greet with Shawn Mendes, and she looks me in the eye, and she says to me, she was like, "All I said was thank you." And I was like, "Girl, I heard you. All you said was thank you." And she was like, "I can't believe that was all I was able to say." I was like, honestly, me either. You're very intelligent. And also, I was the one who was more invested in this experience. She liked Shawn Mendes, but she like was doing it like it was like a thing we were doing together. More like not so much a thing that she was like very, very invested in doing. So then we do like the Q&A, which I don't really remember being very interesting, other than we had to like, tried to make it vibey, and like they wanted everyone to sit on the floor, but it was really uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable, and like luckily like I was wearing an outfit that like I could sit on the floor in, but like I am known to wear pretty impractical things to concert in general. So I somehow found myself lucky, like in a garment that would like allow me to sit, but like it was pretty uncomfortable. Then we drink a little. We get a little drinky because we're there so early, and we're like essentially there before everyone else. We get to shop the merch table. I buy my favorite hoodie. It is my favorite hoodie. It's a Shawn Mendes hoodie from that tour. If once this hoodie dies, I will be devastated. I will be looking for one on the secondhand market. Like I'm not even joking with you. It's my favorite hoodie. We drinky. I'm gonna put my lip on, and I guess we're just calling this what it is. And I don't, I'll line my lips with Supernatural from Pat McGrath. Oh, I guess I also have to put on mascara, but that's whatever. We'll do that. We get some drinks because we're there early and we're of age, so we're drinking. Period. I'll be using the lipstick Whirl from MAC. I'm feeling good. My friend is feeling good. We go down to we're like in the, we were really close because like we did the meet and greet. Our tickets were really close. We get down to the floor. The show starts. I'm fully taken to a whole different place, a whole new world. And at one point in the concert, so we like make fun, the people now around us are like different people. There are two girls next to me. Like we chit chat. They let me know, because I really wasn't sure. They let me know how I was accessing my photo that I just took. They got those photos up really fast. So the girl showed me. I see my photo. It's excellent. Here's the photo. I look so good. He also looks really good, but I look so good. The concert starts, we're vibing. He starts singing Senorita, and for the uninformed, that is a song that he recorded and performed with his girlfriend at the time, Camila Cabello, and again, cannot be stated enough. I wasn't drunk, but I was a little tipsy. He's playing the song. He starts playing it. We're close enough. I scream, "Where is she, though?" Meaning, where's Camila? And then my friend took my drink away from me. I lost my Shawn access to my spiked lemonade. The concert was really fun. It was so great, and I had like a really good time. And so what was actually supposed to happen was, it was my friend's birthday gift. I bought the meet and greet tickets for Shawn Mendes' tour. I mean, obviously the pandemic happened. Wonder was the next album that came out. I didn't like Wonder as much as some of the other albums, but like it was still really good, and it was like exciting to, you know, get a repeat of meeting Shawn. So it was supposed to be her birthday gift, because I was like, I bought this for you so you can redeem yourself when you meet Shawn again. That was like the whole joke. But now Shawn Mendes isn't touring, but I'm going to restate this. I did state this in another video where I talked about Shawn Mendes canceling his tour. I only want him to be well and, you know, find a space and a path for him to heal and maybe tour in the future. But if he decides that touring just isn't for him anymore, I also support that decision. While I am disappointed that I'm not going to be able to meet and greet Shawn Mendes, all is well. So here is the look that I would wear to Shawn Mendes and the look that I'll be wearing tonight. But I did say that there was a whole garment situation, so I'm going to go do that part. And also, I'd be wearing shapewear because, well, not because, but just like, just know that that's the thing that's happening. It's me. I'm ready for the Shawn Mendes Meet and Greet. Okay, so we have this beautiful mini dress with this cowled back. How cute. You have seen these boots in another video. These rhinestoned mint booties. Shawn Mendes would have said, "You looked more incredible. You look more incredible. How very dare you look so incredible." Honestly, it's just like me at the concert, just like, Ooh, are my balls out? They weren't. Wow, I'm so hot. I look hot in it. I look hot in it. Oh my god, could you imagine? Here's Shawn. Shawn, if you're seeing this, we can meet and greet, okay? Hi. No, I wouldn't pose like that. I would do which side would I want to be on? You don't really get to choose your side. I think I was on this side. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to be like Posh Spice though. Don't really know if Shawn knows who Posh Spice is. Like, I'm sure he does in theory, but like, does he really? Thank you so much for watching. Shawn Mendes, if you're watching, still open to meeting and greeting. Don't tag Shawn. I mean, you can if you want, but I don't think it really will matter. Anyway. And also, it's like, why would I get special treatment? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you are new to my channel and you had fun watching today's video, I would love to have you subscribe. I don't normally do videos like this, but I would really love to have you stay around if you are interested in seeing more content from me. I'm out of breath getting dressed. It was the underwear, by the way. That was the industrial hardware that is wrapped around my body right now. Anyway, don't forget to vote for me for Best of Pittsburgh. Remember to like this video before you head out. And remember to follow your heart, and you will find me. Thank you again so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Forever!